Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today I am taking a look at Hasbro's newly released Transformers Age of the Primes Autobot Red Alert figure, which is inspired from 2003 Transformers Armada. Special shout out and thank you to site sponsor BigBadToyStore for sending him along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. To buy Red Alert and additional figures, please use the hyperlinks on ToyHypeUSA.com or the links right in the YouTube description below. Red Alert is packaged in a window box packaging with beautifully done artwork featuring the character in both robot and vehicle modes. You have several logos, including the Transformers and Hasbro logos, as well as additional artwork. And it also specifies that it takes 22 steps to transform him from robot to vehicle mode. On the side here, you have another look at Red Alert in robot mode. And on the other side, you have Age of the Primes artwork. On the back, you have a look at the figure in both modes as well as his features. I am going to open this up now and let's take a closer look. Before I continue, let's take a look at the instructions. Here is a look at that. The blaster and the accessories can be positioned in a number of different ways. The instruction specifies this. The claw weapon can be attached right in the blaster there. And the blaster can be placed on his shoulder, switched with another front piece for the blaster. There are 3 front piece totals. It can also be placed on his back as shown by lifting this piece up, and I'll demonstrate that on the figure. Here's a look again on the shoulder. And the 2 smaller blast effect pieces can be placed on his left wrist. And here's a look at the transformation for him. Also, the small red blast effect pieces can be placed right on the back here, and I'll show you where that is on the figure. Here is a look at the back. And here is a look at the vehicle mode. Here is your in-hand look at Red Alert, inspired from his appearance in the Transformers Armada cartoon from 2003. I think they did a really good job capturing his likeness. The head sculpt on him looks great. They got the visor right. It really came out good. The colors on him are light blue and a little bit of dark blue, white, black, light, and dark gray. He has some yellow and reds as well. Here is a look at all sides, the doors and vehicle modes. He doesn't come with his Minicon, unfortunately, but he does have the 5mm ports, which you see throughout the figure. So I do think that the original Minicons would be compatible with this figure. Mine are in storage, and I do not know where they are. So my apologies for not being able to show that. Here is a look at the sides of the back as well. He has these insignias right there. Autobot, looks like an Autobot logo. And another one right there. Here is a closer look at that head sculpt so you guys can really see the likeness on him. He also has a Autobot logo right there below the head. He can also store the blasters, and here is a look at that. These are hidden right behind these pieces here. They just plug right in. And this claw one is on his left wrist. If you refer back to the instructions, it shows how the blaster can be placed on the back, and here is a look at that. This is on a swivel joint here, and it can just open and close. As I specified, the left wrist can fit 3 different interchangeable pieces. This is the claw piece. Here's a look at the blaster with one of the red blasters put in place there. Here is a look at both of the red blasters on. Here I switched the red blasters, and here is a closer look. Both of these are different, so they're not sculpted the same. And here is a look at the other one. As the instructions specify, the blaster can be placed on his shoulder, and here's a look at that. Here is a closer look with the claw. And finally, here is a look at the claw attachment on the blaster. Red Alert is fully articulated and it's basically standard to the current lines in Transformers. He includes a ball-jointed head. However, it's kind of hard to move him side to side. You really got to put a lot of pressure on it, but it can be moved. Swivel hinged shoulders, swivel biceps, double hinged elbows. Here is, look at that, you hear it clicking. Swivel waist, swivel hinged hips, good range of motion there. Swivel thighs, the knees are hinged. And he's got swivel and hinged ankles. This part is also hinged. However, I don't really believe this is supposed to be a point of articulation, but I'm not exactly positive about that. Here is a comparison with Armada Optimus Prime. Notice the size difference. Here is a comparison with both versions of Hotshot. Here is a comparison with Wheeljack. And finally, here's a comparison with both Megatron and Galvatron. Here is a look at Red Alert's vehicle mode. This is an off-road ambulance, and it is pretty accurate to the cartoon. The ports on the side, these are 5mm, and they are compatible with the old Minicon figures. I double-checked, so you can put them around the figure, right here on top, as well as on the sides, which is pretty cool. Here you see the Autobot logo better, and it is an Autobot logo. It was a little bit harder to tell in robot mode. Here's a look at it from all sides. Very nicely done. They really did a nice job on the details here. On the front, he has the headlights, which is pretty cool. And of course, the Autobot logo right there on top of the hood. And finally, in this mode, you can also use the blaster cannon and lift it up and use it as shown in vehicle mode, just as the vintage vehicle could in the Transformers Armada 2003 line. The instructions, interestingly enough, do not show this, so I don't know why Hasbro didn't show this particular mode in vehicle mode, but they didn't. So just know that it is possible. Here is a look at it from all sides. The claw can also be placed under the roof somewhere, but I could not figure that out. I did a little research on that. Overall, Red Alert is a great figure. Highly recommend you guys pick him up. He makes a great addition to the line. Thank you again to site sponsor BigBadToyStore for sending him along for a review. It's greatly appreciated. Red Alert is in stock as well as some other new offerings, so do pick up these figures. I am Anthony Scott. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more news and reviews.